Hello and welcome to episode.
Tara.
Brilliant timing. Absolutely amazing timing.
Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the Bad Psychics podcast. This is our Oscars prediction episode review. Are those words in the right order? Maybe. I'm your host Z. Today we'll be going through our predictions from episode 2, trying to see who did the best, trying to see if Cass's policy of picking only one film will turn out to pay off. Spoiler, probably not. Anyway, let me introduce my guest today. First of all, I predict she's most likely to be tried to be played off, but insist on keeping on talking anyway. It's Cass, and I predict that she is most likely to get a disappointed look from John Lithgow in the audience. It's Eloise. Cass, how you doing?
I am alive.
That's
I'm alive.
That's always a positive. Eloise, how are you?
Yes, I'm also alive, so
Excellent.
that's fine.
I am pleased that we can assure the viewers that nobody is broadcasting from beyond the grave today.
That'd be impressive.
I was close. The day I had yesterday, I was close.
Yeah, very fair. Right. Let's switch to the magic screen. There we go. Okay, the Google Doc in a hole is once again back. Okay, so let's go through this in order. I have checked the answers already. There's a couple we might need to discuss, but first of all, Best Picture. I said The Brutalist. Cass said Wicked. Eloise said Anora. Eloise, you were right. How were you surprised to be right, or was it pretty much guaranteed by the end?
I mean, I wasn't surprised at all. Like it very much was a kind of coin toss between Honor and the Brutalist, but I suppose the odds were right. I don't. I very much. Yeah, it was gonna happen. I feel with how the other awards happened during the night.
Okay. And Cass, the first instance of your Wicked predictions, were you shocked that Wicked didn't win?
No, no. I knew my odds of winning on that one were extremely low, but you know what? There is power in positive thinking. Just apparently not enough to get Wicked the Best Picture win. So
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so let's switch to the other sheet. So for Best Picture, I can confirm no points for myself, no points for Cass, and Eloise takes an early lead with 5 points. Right, next up we had Best Director. Best Director, I matched my Best Picture prediction. Eloise matched her Best Picture prediction. Cass didn't have the option to match hers.
no.
And went for the a complete unknown director. Cass, 8 awards that A Complete Unknown was nominated for. It did not win a single one.
Yeah.
Were you surprised by that?
If I knew more about the movie, I probably would have been.
Good. Our high levels of film expertise once again shining through. Eloise, I mean, Sean Baker spent a lot of time on the stage, given he basically single-handedly won 4 different categories. Again, was this one of the surprises to you, or was this a given?
I mean, yeah, if Honora was going to win, then Sean Baker was going to win Best Director, and but I suppose the surprise might have been the fact that he was record breaking, but well, record tying, but still, with 4 awards he tied with Walt Disney.
I thought I believe, because I was listening to another podcast. I believe that he is a record breaker because he's the first person to win for the same film. Walt Disney did win 4, but it was for 2 separate films in the same year.
It's more impressive then. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Indeed. The Brutalist, not doing so well so far. So again, we'll switch back to the other sheet, and unsurprisingly, there you have no points for Cass or I again. Another 5 points for Eloise. Eloise starting very strongly. Best Actor, we become overall slightly more successful. Myself and Eloise both went for Adrian Brody. I was pretty confident on Adrian Brody winning.
Yeah.
Cass, you went for Sebastian Stan, who played the Angry Orange Man.
Yeah.
Any surprise that he didn't win?
No. There was no way. It was too political. He was never going to win that one.
Yeah.
But, like, also, I mean, I was giving him the shout out that he deserved. That's, yeah. But no way he was going to win that one. Not a chance.
Fair. Eloise, this was, I believe, more of your check what the odds were saying strategy at this point. Did the odds stay pretty consistent between us recording and the actual Oscars, or were any of them?
I didn't check, but I assume so, considering very much. I'd say what the odds said very much happened during the night. So yeah, I'd say they probably were very consistent. So no surprises here, I'd say.
Okay. Well, okay. Again, we switch to the other screen, and another bunch of 5 points appear for Eloise. I get on the board with 5. Cass is still waiting to score. I can assure viewers, Cass does score at some point. It's not a true destruction by any means. We move on to Best Actress. Eloise drops points. Eloise went for Cynthia Erivo, as did Cass. Cass, are you in any way regretting your Wicked fangirling yet?
No, absolutely not. It's worth the fangirling. Cynthia Erivo is worth losing points for. I will back it. I will back every single one of my Wicked predictions, because you know what? It was a movie worth backing, even though it lost me points.
Did you enjoy her performance at the top of the show?
Oh my gosh, that was incredible. That whole performance, I was just like, oh, I felt like I was floating. I felt like I was floating, which is, fitting for that particular musical number. And every second of it, they took advantage of, and it was amazing. Like, oh my gosh, so good.
But Eloise, you were also fangirling over Cynthia Erivo in our original episode. Did her performance at the top of the show cement that? I haven't actually established if you even watched the Oscars. To be fair, I know Cass has. Did you?
Well, this is very much exposing the fact that I didn't watch it. But I heard it was good. I read up on it. I read up on what happened, so I'm sort of aware. But I heard it was good. Yes. I very much should have gone with the odds on this one, but I with the best actress and supporting actress, I just went, fuck it, Wicked, for fun. Like, so if that loses me this, then oh well.
Meanwhile, I went Mikey Madison. I said at the time that it was my most thought through answer that I gave, and so it was the one I most wanted to be right, and I actually got it right. I said at the time I thought Carla Sophia Gascon had ruined her chances. I felt like Demi Moore, I didn't think they'd give it to a horror film. I can't remember who else was in the mix, but just couldn't quite envisage any of them lifting the statuette, and it's paid off. So as we switch to our score screen once again and put those points in, I get another 5. Cass not on the board. Eloise, first dropped points for her. Next up we have Best Supporting Actor. We all went for Kieran Culkin, which turned out to be correct. But even if it hadn't, it wouldn't do anything to the scores. But Eloise, were you pleased for Kieran?
I mean, this one felt like the most obvious of all the best actor and actresses. So yeah, no, yeah, it's really good. I think one of the that was something else. Sorry, I don't know why my brain confused Adrian Brody with Kieran Culkin, the whole Halle Berry incident.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, that was interesting. And
that was a thing that happened.
It was very much a thing that happened. I can't help but feel that if any of us had thought it through, it would have been a good bonus prediction that something of that ilk would occur. But, we didn't do it. Cass, Kieran said in his speech that as a result of the Oscar win, they're going to try for a 4th child now. If your husband gets an Oscar, is there a 4th child?
The only way my husband is guaranteed a 4th child is if he cheats on me, which I don't see ever happening. So, yeah, he's never gonna do that. So, yeah, that's if that tells you the odds of that happening.
Excellent. But yeah, I was pleased with Kieran Culkin. From what I've seen, he seems like a good sort.
Yeah.
But yeah, so put those scores on the board, and Eloise gets another 5, I get another 5, and Cass is on the board. Congratulations,
Yay!
Cass. Your first points.
Yes, not my most entertaining ones though. Those are ahead.
Indeed, that's very true. Next up, we have Best Supporting Actress. The two of you both went for Ariana Grande. I mean, Cass, that was just a continuation of your Wicked obsession. Is
Yes.
any surprise that she didn't win for you?
No. Actually, the odds of her winning did go up because of I did see, like, there was actually a pretty good chance she was going to win that because Carla Sofia Gascon not only tanked her chances of winning, but she very nearly tanked her movie's chances of winning any awards. So, yeah, no, like going into the Oscars, I read a prediction that actually they were kind of Ariana Grande was starting to edge out Zoe Saldana. So, that actually was probably the closest Wicked came to winning, based on like an actress award.
Yeah. Eloise, you when we asked you originally why you'd chosen Ariana Grande, you said because she's Ariana Grande. Do you think like Wicked is likely to see her move more into acting, or do you think that the fact that this was a musical, it was very much a natural detour?
It's a good question. It depends how much she enjoys acting, I suppose, at the end of the day. But
Actually, I think if I remember correctly, she's done interviews saying that this reminded her of her love for musical theater. So
okay. maybe not
we're
acting,
probably
but
gonna
maybe
see
like
her.
theater. Maybe, I don't know.
Or like musicals, yeah. Like I could see her being in more movie musicals and stuff like that. But she did say she loved combining her love of acting with her love of singing. So once
Possibly
again,
then.
I guess she did that once.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, in the end, Joey Saldana did take it out. I did have a feeling that as much as comments made by her co-star were, let's say, unfortunate, I do think there was a degree of importance to the film, and I did think that they would try and make sure that it was suitably recognised. So,
but in a way that ensured that Carla Sofia Gascon would not get on the stage.
Indeed.
That was what they were saying.
Yes. So, if we highlight that, I mean, add the points on, that is 5 more points for myself, no points for Cass or Eloise. So as it stands, after the picture, director and acting categories, Cass has 5 points, Eloise and myself are tied on 20. Next, we move to Best Animation. For me, this was the most surprising of the evening. I don't think anybody really saw a likelihood of Flo winning it. Eloise, you said that you went for Wallace and Gromit because it was one of the few films you'd actually seen.
Yep.
Any surprise that it didn't take the win?
Not at all. I wasn't expecting it to win. I just wanted to put Wallace and Gromit in there. But I'm surprised. I'm surprised Flo won because
Yeah.
I thought the Wild Robot was gonna win that. So that was the big shock, is that it wasn't the Wild Robot.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Cass, Flow seems like the sort of thing that, potentially you would consider watching with your kids.
Yes.
Did it like put it in your peripheral vision? Is it a film that now it's
Knew
one?
nothing about. I knew nothing about it, but I actually did think after watching the Oscars, I'm like, actually, I might try to watch that one with my kids because it does look like incredibly cute.
Yes, I think yeah. My understanding of it is that it's a film that makes a serious grown-up point, but in a way that is very accessible to kids. And I honestly think there needs to be more. There needs to be more films that treat kids like adults, because I think
Yeah.
a lot of the time you start picking apart like plot holes and stuff in movies that defy basic science in an unnecessary way, and kids start going, well, why is that doing that? It's I
Yeah.
yeah, I read somebody recently who basically completely shredded a B movie from like an academic point of view.
Sorry, just the concept of that just is hilarious to me.
I mean, low hanging fruit there.
Yeah, but it was things like, okay, so the queen bee is the only one that's allowed to mate, and yet somehow the main character has a mum and dad that's in the film. It's just things like that. They're like,
Maybe adoptive. That's the only thing I think of is adoptive.
yes.
Adoptive parents, maybe.
Yes, but yeah, there's all sorts of things. The main character has
I was gonna say.
yeah, the main character has a stinger when only female bees have stingers. It's just there was this whole list of things of why the film was just basically broken, even within like a fantastical animated universe. But yes, I was
terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. As I said at the time, The Wild Robot looked like the sort of film that appeared incredibly well made, and like I probably could actually sit and watch it if I wanted to. Just as I said on the first episode, I don't do films. I don't have the attention span. I'm only doing this episode because nobody else could host. But we gave 3 separate answers, and all of us were wrong, which was quite the achievement. So I'll update the scores, but for the first time, it is a big fat 0 in every column. Right. Then we move to Most Awards. Now, Most Awards was done slightly differently, and that rather than just being a straight 0 or 5 points scored, you got a point for every award your film won. Cass, Wicked did end up taking out a couple of awards. I know that you were particularly moved by one of the awards, I think, for costume design.
Yeah, that one. Oh my gosh, I got chills. Like his speech about being the first black man to win this award. Like he was so emotional. Like you could tell that award meant so much to him. It was one of the like standout touching moments from the Oscars. Like worth watching just for that moment.
That's fair. Eloise, you went for an aura. Again, when you put an aura, did you have an expectation for exactly how many films they might win, or were you just doing it on the basis that you were at least confident that it would be a couple?
I thought they'd win a couple. I didn't expect the sweep that happened, but yeah, I very much was not expecting a Nora sweep, but a couple. So I was pleasantly surprised.
Fair. I am very much enjoying Cass trying to smuggle chicken nuggets and assume that nobody will notice her head vanishing off the screen.
No, I knew you'd notice, but I was keeping my
didn't.
fingers crossed that I would. Oh,
I hadn't noticed at all.
Oh no.
oh no, I was totally no. What's even better is like as I'm doing it, I'm like kind of looking, and then I'm like, oh shoot, I can see my face, and then I'm like ducking. Like it's like literally probably the worst possible attempt at being subtle, which
It's
I guess that tracks.
I've been laughing for a little while that occasionally the way we framed you for the benefit of the viewers, our panelists can't see themselves, but I can tell you, Cass, that there have been frequent moments where you have vanished off the screen entirely in the little window I've given you, and then come back chewing.
Like I said, subtlety, not my strong suit. Okay, I just like let loose chicken nugget crumbs as I said that. So you know, landing.
Just excellent. But yeah, I went for the Brutalist. I think I was kind of surprised that the Brutalist didn't get more love, because, as I said at the time, when I read through the plots of a lot of these films, the Brutalist felt like perfect Oscars fodder. It just, design a film that will win an Oscar if you do it right. The Brutalist, to me, but,
Yeah.
It didn't have anything on Honora. I can't remember the exact numbers for this, though I did put them in. So as I reveal this row... Okay, there we go. Yep. The Brutalist picked up 3, Wicked picked up 2, and Honora picked up 5, and those are reflected in our points. Okay, so next we move to the monologue. So you had to name somebody who would show up as part of Conan O'Brien's opening monologue. Now, Cass, you went big. You named 3 separate people.
I did.
And you said that all 3 of them would come off, and we said we would give you triple points if it did.
Yeah.
We did say that we thought Jonathan Bailey would be the one that would let you down there. And you were very insistent. No. He'll appear.
I know.
In
He was the
end.
only one. Yeah.
Yes.
I think it was the one that I lost on. Because Demi Moore, I mean,
Yes.
she came up in a very graphic way.
Yes. It was an interesting opening. Was it? Did it stay within the realms that it wasn't too gory for you, Cass?
It was close. It was definitely, I was cringing pretty hard, but I can watch. I became very close. Very close.
Fair.
What happened? Just for people who might have
So in essence, the very start of the show was a recorded piece where Conan O'Brien, reflecting the substance, basically appeared in his dressing room, climbing out of the skin of Demi Moore, and then did a comic bit where he lost one of his shoes, climbed back inside Demimur, and then came back out clutching the shoe. I found it very funny. It was like not in the realms of gross for me, but
Oh, I need to watch that now.
yeah.
You haven't seen anything more like it.
It
Because
was
they're also doing flashes over to her face from the movie, like laying on the floor.
yeah.
It's like, I mean, it was hilarious. It was just like, it was the kind of hilarious where I'm like, I'm not sure if I can watch the entire time, but like, also, like, what kind of a brain comes up with this? Because,
Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, it was certainly something. Eloise, you
Okay.
went for Timothy Chalamet. He did come up. You got that one right.
Does it count?
It does count. Yeah.
Okay, good. I was like not 100% sure if it would count because it didn't come from his mouth. It was Adam Sandler shouting, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think anything that happened within it,
Okay.
I was perfectly willing to
Let's
accept.
go.
Right. So here comes the slightly contentious one. I said that Ryan Reynolds would appear. Now, I'm going off memory to a degree here. However, during the musical number in Conan's monologue about, he won't waste time or whatever it was called, there was a point where he talked about things happening for no reason, and out comes Deadpool. And he says the words, I believe, and he's not even nominated. Now,
I think it counts. I do think it counts because, like, it's a thinly veiled reference, but it is a reference. Like, we didn't say that it had to be like out and out. So
Is it 4 points worth though? That's the question.
I mean, yeah, this was one of the questions. Ryan Reynolds is not directly mentioned. I can recognise that Ryan Reynolds is not Deadpool, but
Yeah.
I do think that the implication was that it was meant to be Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool.
yeah,
It was Dance Paul, which is one of the alternative Deadpools. So
I would say half points. I say half points. I think it's worth points, just maybe not full points. Because I agree. I think
yeah,
it was a reference more to Deadpool than Ryan Reynolds. But like, then again, like there is no Deadpool without Ryan Reynolds at this point. So I say it's worth 2 points. I think you get points for it.
Okay, Eloise, what is?
yeah, completely agree with that. I think he wasn't mentioned, but it was very, very not very subtle in
No.
it's a reference towards him.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're saying half points.
2
Yeah.
points, yeah.
2 points. Okay. I will accept 2 points. So I have to put that in because that was something that I couldn't do before. However, we revealed the points. No points for Cass. If she'd have stuck with Demi and Ariana, she could have had 10 points, but she overdid it. She overshot.
One too far. One too far.
Eloise picks up 5 for Chalamet reference.
That was my favorite part of that monologue, by the way, because Adam Sandler is such a class act. I love him so much.
Well dressed.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not.
So looks so good.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Adam Sandler fan in terms of films. I do think that Adam Sandler as Adam Sandler often appears to be a very kind of funny, sweet guy. I think a lot of his films get a bit silly.
A bit.
Well, yeah.
Have you seen Grown Ups? Like,
Possibly at some point. I can't remember. Is that the Will Ferrell one? Is Will Ferrell in that?
no, I don't think Will Ferrell's in that one.
Okay.
No.
Next, we move on to dress colour. So, dress colour had some comments from a couple of our viewers who were very much making fun of me for not realising why Cass had chosen green as her guess. I have had it. I've had it in the ear from more than one person. Look, I'm a bit slow sometimes, okay? Leave me alone.
What's even funnier, Z, is I think when we recorded it, that's what I said. And you acknowledged it, and then you forgot. Like, I think I said at the time that we were recording that's why I picked that color.
Yeah.
Which makes it even funnier that it just went in one ear and out the other, and
It doesn't go in one ear and out the other. It just sort of goes in one ear and then gets like filed in a storage cabinet somewhere deep at the back. But yes, I don't think we need to spend a great deal of time on
I
this
think
one.
we were all wrong.
We were all wrong. I think in the end the answer was predominantly pink with a bit of black. I think if someone had said black, I'd probably have considered giving them half points.
Half points. Yeah.
Eloise, did any of the fashion during the Oscars stand out to you?
I've not seen much, but I mean, we can mention Timothy Chalamet's very yellow suit.
Yeah,
That was certainly a choice. Also, we also already mentioned Adam Sandler with his probably outfit of the night.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there were certainly some dresses and suits.
Good.
I mean, Ariana. I will say Ariana Grande's dress was super unique. I really liked hers. Yeah, hers was really pretty.
Here's the thing. I thought it looked great on the red carpet, but I'm a big person that I'm like, fashioned to me. Make it look good by all means, but it still has to be functional. And I have no idea how she sat down in that.
Wait, let me.
She did. I saw a clip of her sitting down. It actually, I think it's more functional than it looked.
I mean,
I do think that it worked out better. I think she did have to have some help though.
Yeah, like you would have to. She like it was beautiful, but she was dressed like a 19th century lampshade.
Yes,
I mean,
assume...
Cynthia Erivo's dress was my favorite though. The deep green, that was gorgeous.
Oh, she did wear green in the end. Okay.
Yes.
She did.
Oh, that's stunning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
For me, yes. I thought Cynthia's, to me, unexpected green dress.
I wonder why she's in green.
Yeah.
I can't put my finger on it.
Just couldn't think. Anyway, let's add that to the scoreboard, and none of us got it right, so we'll say on 0. So next we're going to talk about the Golden Raspberries, otherwise known as the Razzies. all of us made different predictions again. Eloise, you went for the Borderlands. Were you in any way inclined to give it a watch and see if it was as bad as you thought it would be after complaining about video game movies on the original show?
I still haven't watched it. Maybe it's for myself. Maybe it's a good thing I've not watched it, because maybe torturing myself with the Borderlands movie might not be the best idea. But eventually I should, yeah. But I've heard enough and seen enough to know that it's a bit crap.
Fair. Cass, you went for Joker, which seemed a pretty safe bet because it had the most nominations at the Razzies. Didn't end up winning though. Were you surprised that it did a bit better than its nominations suggested?
Well, yes. Finding this out now because I completely forgot that those were a thing until we got to this category. So, I mean, yes.
Excellent. Good.
It's like I very much searched up 5 minutes before we got to this category as well, because I completely forgot. But I mean, it won a couple things, just not the worst picture. I think it won the worst remake, worst screen combo.
Yes.
With Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga. But I think that's it. So I think it won
2.
It won 2.
I went for Megalopolis. Oh, I actually said it right first time. That's amazing.
Yes.
Didn't manage it once during the initial episode. That did better than I thought it would. Again, I think it picked up a couple of the trophies, but I genuinely did think it might sweep. In the end, though, it was a Marvel movie that took the most... what's the opposite of plaudits? Most...
Yeah.
Most derision? I'm not
Wow.
sure.
Most
Derision.
infamous? I don't know.
Yes.
Not liked.
I like derision. Yeah.
Mocked,
maybe most
Mocked, yeah.
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 Shat on. No.
So, Cass, with Madame Web taking the most awards, the most derision, as we said, do you think that people are beginning to get a bit bored with superhero movies?
Yeah. I mean, I am. I've been bored. I've been bored for a while. I mean, granted, my husband, diehard. He's a diehard fan. But for me, I'm like, hey, you want to go see that superhero movie with your family instead of with me? I would not be upset. And so, yeah, no, it's definitely. And I think the quality also is dying quite bad. Madame Web, apparently, I've never watched it because I've heard that it's so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, Madame Web is like a prime example of the declining quality of superhero. It's like they've run out of ideas, and so most of their ideas are just crap at this point. So.
Fair. Eloise, you were excited on the initial episode to discuss the Razzies. Do you think that they reflect public opinion, or do you think sometimes they're just basically at the they're there for the wrath of a few specific people that choose the awards? Do they have cultural relevance still in 2025?
I'm not sure. I expect they do to a to an extent, but yeah, maybe it is just some critics getting a bit annoyed by some films, but honestly, I feel like it might mirror public opinion a little bit still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, in the end, I went for Megalopolis. Yeah, can't do it again. The film
You
that
said
I
it
managed.
right the first time.
Yeah.
Can't replicate.
That won the Worst Director Award for Francis Ford Coppola. I'm not going to list the cast again of that film, but it, I think, fully deserved, because how you ruin a film with that cast is
Yeah.
beyond me. Anyway, if we switch back to the scoring page, none of us get any points.
Very exciting.
Yes. It
Thrilling.
did a wonder for the scores. I'm genuinely shocked. I did think that one of our choices would scoop the most, but no.
Yeah. No, it's
Did.
yeah.
I shouldn't be that surprised, actually. I've heard really, really bad things. I kind of forgot about Madame Web, actually. That might be partially why.
Mm.
Yeah. Very regrettable.
But yeah. So finally we get into the bonus category. These were categories that we came up with ourselves. We discussed and decided how many points they would be worth. Now, first of all, let's come to Eloise's. So, Eloise, I have watched bits of the show. I didn't spot any. I discussed it with Cass, who once again is vanishing off screen to steal nuggets.
But no, I didn't vanish off screen. I decided to stop trying to be subtle. I was eating them right on screen.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. You disappeared out of the frame you've been given momentarily. But
That's
yes.
mostly because I'm fighting this guy. That's why I keep disappearing. It's a
Yes.
very aggressively affectionate cat, huh?
Yes.
I don't know if you can hear him purring.
No.
Listening carefully. No,
Aw.
can't hear him.
Loud.
But yes. However, I spoke to Cass about it. Cass, you are confident that there were no references to Will Smith done poorly or otherwise within the show. Oh.
I mean, our viewers can correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't see any.
Okay.
That's fun.
I will.
Yeah, didn't notice any.
So yeah, Eloise, you won't be getting any points for the Will Smith slap. Do you think that the Oscars have moved on from that now? Or is it more a sign that they haven't moved on because they're not able to joke about it? Which way round do you feel it is?
They've probably moved on from a sense of actually finding other things to joke about rather than just the very low hanging fruit, which very much was the case. So, I'm kind of glad. I mean, it's not good for my points, but I'm kind of glad that it didn't appear, because that is just, that's why what was my wording? A poorly done reference, which it would have been if it showed up. So I'm glad they're not doing it, but I think it's a positive that we're not talking about Will Smith's slap in 2025. So that's a good thing.
Well, that's fair. So Cass, you went for Adrian Brody to have the most self-congratulatory winning speech. You went big. We offered you big points. There were 10 points on the line for it. In my opinion, you got it right. From the speeches I've seen, you were bang on with that one. Were you... That speech has been widely panned, shall we say. Even when you made the prediction, was that what you were anticipating?
Absolutely. I didn't anticipate him refusing to be played off. I think that one really hard to see coming because he set a record. I mean, I could never have predicted that he would set a record for the biggest acceptance speech in the Academy history. Couldn't have seen that coming, but also it's also hilarious. Like it's drives that point home. I mean, I don't know. It just felt like he was very like, I've been waiting for a film like this, and I'm like, I think this is the only kind of film you do. So
Yes.
I don't know why you said waiting for this. Like, you only do films like this. I've never seen a film that I'd actually to watch because all of your films are so depressing and Oscar baity. Like,
Yeah.
dude.
Yes.
So yeah, no, it didn't surprise me at all. I was laughing because like, I mean, he's talking about his like girlfriend, kids, and like, I'm like, well, holy crap, dude! Like literally, your speech was longer than the Best Picture speech.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
No.
That's a level of self-importance that I can relate to.
Yeah. No, I agree entirely. I saw a bit on the Rest is Entertainment podcast that Richard Osman and Marina Hyde host, and they were basically going on about how like the number of high-level directors he's been in films with since his last win, and apparently he's been going around going, it's not the same for me. I'm not appreciated. Meanwhile, he's living in this vast spread, having like done movies with the likes of Martin Scorsese.
Like legends, living legends.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, a bit of delusion. Anyway, my prediction was that Wicked would win less than 50% of its nominees. I was given a score by you two of 5 up or 5 down, depending on if it came off. And it did come off. Wicked only won 2 of its awards. I think it was nominated in like 10. So that is points on the board for me. Cass, I believe yours was 10 up or 6 down, I believe, from memory. Eloise, I think yours was something like 6 up or 4 down. I forget the exact specifics.
Okay.
But in the end, it was Cassie and I's that came off. So as we switch to the other screen, we add in the bonuses. It was 4 up or 2 down for Eloise. Yes, that has reminded me. So that's 5 points for me, 10 for Cassie. Eloise loses to 2. And that means for the grand reveal of our first ever review, the final scores on the doors, it came down to Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds. Without that, it would have been a tie between Eloise and I. Cass ends up with 17 points. The majority of them came from Adrian Brody's speech. Eloise.
I'm not gonna lie. I love that that's where most of my point came from because, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Eloise ends up on 28. And thanks to whoever came on the screen dancing in a Deadpool costume, I take the win with 2 points to get 30.
I have a feeling now that you should get 0 points for that one.
I mean, it would
I may not be able to win out.
Yeah, it would still be a tie, you know.
God, why did I go for the wicked actresses? Oh,
What makes me laugh? What makes me laugh is I lost by over 10 points. I came in third by over 10 points, and I was just like almost crying over 2.
I get too competitive.
I say almost cry as a teasing thing. I know
Yeah.
you don't care that much.
No,
but...
it's just more frustration about why I did what I did. Like, just confusion, really.
Yeah. Well, I for one am very grateful that you chose to rep them. Because yeah, that's our first ever review episode, the first trophy to give out, and it is I, supreme host and overlord, who takes the victory.
Completely rigged.
The one who the person who won is the person who both episodes said the only reason he's here is to find somebody else to do it. So,
Yes.
you know,
I mean,
fearless leader indeed.
Yeah, I mean, look, you know, I may not be interested in films, but I am interested in winning, so I did some mild research. But yes, that concludes our Oscars episode for 2025. I think next year's will probably be more competitive. Eloise will probably actually watch some films using her, her time studying film. But yes, that's the end of this episode. We will be back soon. It might be a couple of weeks before the next episode, because it's just a natural lull in the things we're covering. However, rest assured, we will be back soon with some new episodes. Cass, Eloise, thank you very much for joining me. It's been a pleasure as always. However, as the curtains draw on this year's Oscars predictions, remember when you go to sleep tonight, be big mystics, not big mistakes. Good night.